Is that how you've been presenting yourself to the world? That would explain a great deal.
The power breakfast of the galaxy far, far away. Space Cocoa Puffs and blue milk. Howdy y'all, I'm Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome to my review of Andor Episode 5, subtitled, Everybody's basically where they were at the end of Episode 4. Because guess what? 40 minutes and nothing happened. Or actually less than 40 minutes, probably about 38 minutes, but still, nothing happened. I am now asking those who have been giving me pushback, and I've gotten pushback. You need to shut up. It's a slow burn. It's an adult show. We don't need laser swords and pew-pew and constant action to make it good. I'm sorry, but those arguments no longer qualify when you are given an episode where nothing literally happens besides walking and talking, sitting and talking, not following through on plots you started in the last episode. Mon Mothma, we're looking at you. Oh, yes, we are going to talk about that. A clear misunderstanding of how the Imperial chain of command, the Imperial order structure, the bureaucratic structure works. Moffs? No. We're going to talk about that. Same time, pointless Easter eggs. Same time, boring characters who we don't care about and are predictably likely going to die. This show is not accomplishing anything. It is not real Star Wars. Real Star Wars has a soul, has feeling to it. And you can like this show. But again, I say two things to you. One, do not lie to yourself and say it's Star Wars just because you see a TIE fighter or a holocron in the background. Same time, this show, Andor, does not exist in a vacuum. It doesn't. I said it before, I'm going to say it again, and none of you have actually answered me. Those who are critiquing me, those who are trying to dunk on me, prove to me that this matters in the sense that all roads in Disney Star Wars lead to Jake Skywalker and the sequel trilogy. They even dropped the word Jakku in this to remind you. You cannot defend the overall existence of this show. You can enjoy it, but you cannot defend its existence because all it does is continue to perpetrate the crime against humanity that is Disney Star Wars. We're going to go through this now. I'm going to stop here and there, make my points, and at the end, we'll recap. Join me, will you?
And there's Cinta Koss. She is stone cold and fearless. Probably the toughest one here. She's already sharing a blanket, if that's what you're wondering.
Oh boy. Wow. There it is. You can't have Star Wars without some fucking scissoring, can you? We'll get to that in a moment. All right, we open with everybody's favorite fired lieutenant security man who went home to mom. He's in all of 3 scenes in this episode because they're really moving his storyline along. We cut to him having breakfast, and as I said in my opener, Space Cocoa Puffs and blue milk. Doesn't that just scream Star Wars to you? Basically, Mama fired security guard is chastising him for getting fired and wants to basically call in a favor from a family member called Uncle Harold or Harold, whatever. Harold, that's a real Star Wars name. I swear it's Harold. Uncle Harold. To get him a job. And she basically berates him and they have a couple barbs back and forth. Stimulating. Moving right along. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because this is what happens. I'm not going to bore you with it outside of my mocking it. Now we're back at Rebel Sleepaway Camp on Made Up Planet in Disney Star Wars. Andor wakes up. His stuff is missing. He runs outside. Dude who we discover has a bunch of tattoos on his body is going through it. Said that angry rebel leader lady wanted him to go through his stuff. check it with her. And they have a conversation. One, we learned that Mr. Tattoos went to prison. And he understands that, and he really hates the Empire. And Andor obviously gets it because he recognized the tattoo immediately. They basically talk about absolutely nothing important. We reveal certain points about the members of Rebel Sleepaway Camp. Chief being, of course, to remind us and affirm us that Diversity Hire Whammons is gay. She's a lesbian. And that she's the toughest one there. Tough as nails, strong, hard as stone. And she shares a blanket with Angry Rebel Lady. Gotta get that in there because, again, what is Star Wars without some fucking scissoring? Now, are Disney going to have the balls and actually have them kiss for a long period of time on camera? Or are they just going to queer bait some more? I don't know. We'll see. This scene goes on and on until, again, dude walks away, says, oh, let's get ready, go talk to so-and-so. Now, here we go. I love this part. I love this next part because everybody wants to go on and on about political intrigue. I made a lot of fun of that last week, so I'm going to make fun of it some more this week. Political intrigue. We want political intrigue because it makes it adult. It makes it for adults, not constant pew-pew in-your-face action with Obi-Wan hiding baby Leia under a trench coat. I had to bring that back. Think about this. Mon Mothma is supposed to be at the center of your political intrigue. Every scene she's in, two of them in this episode, it's about her dysfunctional family life. What about last episode when she was talking with Stellan Skarsgård about lining up an important person to help them with their fledgling Rebel Alliance? No, we didn't follow up on that at all in this episode. We just had to have a nice scene where basically Mon Mothma's daughter hates her, likes the father, and Mon Mothma gets called a narcissist because she wants everything to be about herself, which I kind of see. Because last episode, it was all about me. Why am I being put next to these people at this table? Because you know I hate them. And now today it was, why don't you want to hang out with Mom? I want you to come with me. No, you just want to use me as a tool. No, I don't. I don't really want to. Oh, but so it is about you. See, isn't this your political intrigue you were waiting for? Because why not have Mon Mothma's storyline where they teased in the last episode, hey, let's go find out what cameo, because no, they don't say it, but what cameo are they going to drop in there as her contact in the Rebel Alliance? Oh, maybe also, why don't you have her haranguing or haggling or whatever? Why don't you have her debating some other senators in some political intrigue, some maneuvering? Show her making deals, doing this, doing that, setting stuff up, revealing her Senate allies in the soon-to-be disbanded Imperial Senate in about 5 years. No, we need to see how dysfunctional her home life is in her loveless marriage where her child hates her. Isn't that exciting, Star Wars? Just wait, we're moving on to the good stuff, because here's where the action picks up. Oh, no, wait, it doesn't. We're back at Rebel Sleepaway Camp, where we learn more about Mr. I'm all in for the cause. Flags are all over the place. This little dude's going to die next week when they find... Oh, did I just spoil it? We don't actually get to the heist this week. Remember the heist? Oh, no, that's next week. Isn't that exciting? So, anyway, this dude's going to die. He is going to die. He's got the red flags above him all over the place. He's going to get killed because he's the true believer. He gives a great speech about basically freedom of speech and democracy and this and that. We rely too much on this. We rely too much on Imperial that. Wah. Moving on. Andor gets summoned to talk with Angry Rebel Lady and bigger black dude. Then Black Lieutenant Imperial Security Man. Basically, bottom line, they're describing the escape, and Andor susses out they don't know how to pilot the escape craft. They don't know how to calculate some sort of weight, and he's now aghast, and he demands to fly it, and he bullies them into letting him do it. The end. That's all that happened. Isn't this interesting? Because these characters are so compelling, we need to see them sitting there, talking, walking, arguing. This is what's happening in this episode. I'm breezing through it because that's what's going on. Now we get to explanation number 3 of this sleepaway camp of what we're doing. Remember, he was supposed to do homework. Well, now we're going to do practice drills. We're going to walk. We're going to talk. I'm going to lay everything out. Blah, blah, blah. Useless talking. And then about basically here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. Any questions? Yeah, what are they doing? Oh, no, don't care about what they're going to do. That's what happens. That's the kind of dialogue and exchanges we have. Now, finally, we go back to Lieutenant Black Security Man, who's their mole. Kind of a pointless scene of him coming down, chastising his what do you want to call them? I guess his underlings for not having cleaned up a space. Where are the guards? Oh, they're helping the intendant's wife. I'm so excited to learn all this stuff in Star Wars.
Could I be made prefect? The title, I know it doesn't come with extra pay. You can wear a ball gown if you'd like.
Now, this is something I didn't realize until a few hours later last week, what I'm going to talk about now concerning the Imperial Security Bureau. Setting the scene real quick, we're back on the wonderful planet that everybody loved from episodes 1 through 3 that was so lived in and felt so real. We're here for a couple minutes and then we're moving on. Oh, yeah. Okay, now, here we have Black Imperial Security Bureau man along with some rando officer that's going to be put in charge of this new garrison that always should have been there because that's how Star Wars really works. The guy asks him, can I get the title of prefect? As you saw in the clip, even though it doesn't come in paying, guy goes, I don't care. Why are you asking a dude from the Imperial Security Bureau? Oh, wait a minute. Nobody in charge of this show actually understands how the Imperial bureaucracy and hierarchy works. Because you know who's in charge of sectors? Moths, a.k.a. governors. Moths are in charge of Imperial sectors. They are the ones who give orders through their offices, through their chain of command down to who's going to be a prefect of this and that, who's in charge of that. Not the Imperial Security Bureau, as we saw last week into this week. People are looking at these guys like they're the ones giving all the orders. The ISB, that's not its job. It's supposed to be a spy network. No, we're healthcare to make sure a sickness doesn't spread. No, you're spies. You aren't ones dictating who gets to be what. You're not the ones overseeing the installation of a garrison. The Moth in charge of this sector would have his underlings overseeing the installation of a garrison. That is how Star Wars works. That is how the Galactic Empire worked. But no, this is Disney Star Wars. We don't know what we're doing. See? Okay, all right, moving on. Back at Sleepaway Camp, we're doing more drills. And now we get to see that Andor knows his stuff better than these guys. He basically instructs them how to march properly. Hold your gun like this. Hold your gun like that. It looks better, blah, blah. It's a lot of pointless banter until, oh, everybody hide your guns. Here comes a TIE fighter to basically buzz the tower, for lack of a better term. This is dumb. It's boring. Moving on, now we go to Imperial Security Mole Man, who is doing his rounds. And I know, you don't understand what he's doing. It's setting up that he has such a distaste for the Empire, and he's laying the groundwork so that there's not a lot of people around when the heist happens. Yeah, we didn't need 3 spread out scenes of him doing that in this episode just to eat up time, because that's what this is. This is just to eat up time as he talks with a corporal about how great it looks here and efficiency matters, pretending to be a good Imperial. And that's kind of it. This is filler. This is filler time for the episode. Oy, now we're back at Sleepaway Camp for more pointless discussions about things. Andor is, 1 minute he's kind of having friendly conversations, and then every time somebody goes near his stuff, he freaks out and get away from our stuff. Don't touch my stuff. No, don't touch. Making everybody else more suspicious of him. Because, we're supposed to play up how nobody trusts each other, because that's good intrigue. It's good character building. No, it's boring. It's pointless. You're filling time because now we're just setting up for another scene. All these scenes do is set up for the next scene for more pointless dialogue, where now Andor takes the Kyber Sky Crystal and puts it around his neck for safekeeping. Now, I love this part. Remember when I said all roads lead to the sequel trilogy and Jake Skywalker and Disney Star Wars? No, Adam, they don't talk about the sequel trilogy. They don't want us to remember it. The Civil War. Remember the Civil War? No, there was no Civil War. We are back with Imperial Whammons for all of 3 minutes. Here's the thing that's going on with this show. A lot of these scenes are literally 2 to 3 minutes. Quick ins and outs. We're getting a good look at them. So we're back with Imperial Security Bureau Whammons, where once again we get the affirmation that she is the one who sees the rebellion coming. She sees all these things happening in it, and her good little sycophant underling is basically going, yes, you're right. It's too random not to be random. It's so random, it can't be random. Isn't that just, that's it. It's so random, it cannot be random. That's the great dialogue we're getting out of this. And during this scene, they're throwing out planet names that they just know from random Star Wars mentionings, not actually understanding what these planets mean. They mention Fondor, the shipyards at Fondor. Why? The rebellion isn't at any point in power where they would do anything remotely touching the Imperial shipyards at Fondor. Second, let's throw out the word Kessel. Everybody remembers Kessel, the Kessel Run. Kessel is they mine spice. It's basically a work prison. There's nothing to do there if you're rebels. The smugglers are involved with that shit. And then they mention Jakku to remind you it's Disney Star Wars and all roads lead to the sequel trilogy and Jake Skywalker. And to affirm, and this whole scene's affirming how great this chick is. She's great. She sees it. She's gonna reveal because she's better than everybody else. That's it. Moving on. We're back at Sleepaway Camp. It's the night before they set out, and they're burning their models. They're basically breaking camp. Everybody has a nice little discussion about nothing. We're gonna do great. Yay. For the rebellion. Yay. That's it. That's really it. Nothing. Now, we go back to, let's see. Okay, yeah. Now we're back at fired security Imperial Man. Oh, no, sorry. Just fired security Lieutenant Man. Sorry. In my little jokes, I'm getting them all mixed up. I know. He's back at home with Mom, and we get another discussion how now Uncle Harold's going to give him a job. And he's not happy, and they trade more barbs to show that the relationship really isn't that great. Are you having fun yet? Have you enjoyed your political intrigue? I know I have. Anyway, now we are back at Sleepaway Camp, which isn't Sleepaway Camp. Now it's Hiking Trip on planet made up by Disney Star Wars, where Andor is asking Angry Rebel Lady, why does Mr. Tattoo Man hate... No, I'm sorry. We're not there. Sorry. Why does Mr. Security Mole Man hate the Empire? He had a girlfriend. She died. Things happened. The end. That's kind of it. And he fell out of love with the Empire because I guess his girlfriend got killed or went away. Are you having fun with CW Star Wars? I know. Back to where are we? Okay, yeah. Now we're back with Mole Man Security Mole Man, once again setting, I told you, his scenes are now clearly just a setup. He's clearing the decks. They're going to have as little resistance as possible when they do the heist. A big thing about, okay, you can get this done, and why isn't it done? But, sir, we want to watch the special event with the giant eye and the space and the this. Okay, fine. Have it done by the next day. Go enjoy. Let everybody know they can go enjoy watching it while we're getting a nice little look at the Imperial payroll behind them, because Disney Star Wars has hard currency when credits are things that are transmitted with chips. Okay. Now we are back at Rebel Hiking Day. and everybody, and Mr. Tattoos tries to kill Andor, and he pulls the Kyber crystal from his neck, saying, "What? Look at this! He's not really this! How can we trust him?" Basically, it's one giant pathetic argument of here are our trust issues. We all need to be friends. Where Andor finally admits that he's a merc. He's a hired hand. He's not in it for the cause. But you want me to leave? Don't use me as an excuse to bail. If you're all afraid, don't use me as an excuse not to do this. Oh, you're afraid? Of course I'm afraid. This is a crazy-ass mission. But don't use me to quit. We have to do this. If we're going to do this, let's do it. But I'm telling the truth. I'm a hired gun. And it's a lot of bitchings and moanings. CW bullshit. They're standing there and talking about their feelings. Because that's what Star Wars is all about. All right. We are back at Mon Mothma on the way home from something with her husband where they have a dysfunctional couple discussion in the car. There's no political intrigue in sight with Mon Mothma. They talk about their dysfunction. Kind of it. Moving right along, we go back to fired security Lieutenant Mann, who is now clearly obsessed with Andor as he's sitting in his room. You can see his action figures at one point on a table in the background. And he's looking at a holo of Andor because we see he's going to want to hunt Andor down because Andor ruined his life. Anyway. We're back at Sleepaway Camp because now they've made camp and it's all about Mr. Tattoos making nice with Andor. My brother got killed by Imperials. I hate the Empire. Or well, I really don't know how I feel now, but revenge is good enough for me. That's it. We waste more minutes with that so that maybe they don't have to be friends, but they can be allies in this. Now, finally, here's where I want to spend these final moments here. We arrive. Finally, Stellan Skarsgård reappears. He's playing with a communications device, not picking anything up. His assistant, who really isn't his assistant, she sounds like she's more in charge than he is the way she talks to him. Because, got to have women talk down to men. It's Disney Star Wars. What else would you have? She tells him to basically give up. Everything's going to happen without his interference, without his influence anymore. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's time to just kill. You got to be ready for clients in the morning. Let's all relax. What I want to talk about here is, aside from this boring-ass scene, again, Stellan Skarsgård wasted, why are the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom Temple of Doom Sankara stones on a shelf? Why are the Sankara stones on a shelf in Star Wars? This is a galaxy far, far away. Earth is not in this galaxy. Why is an Earth relic on that shelf? Next to, oh look, it's a Jedi holocron and a Sith holocron. See it? Ugh. But don't you like Easter eggs to things that don't matter? Why are Sankara stones there? This is stupid. It's cheap. It's stupid. Member. That's what pisses me off the most in this episode. Cheap shit like this. Look, because there's a whole thing out there about, did you spot the Easter eggs in the episode? Sankara stones do not belong in Star Wars. That's an Indiana Jones thing. But Lucasfilm doesn't matter. It's stupid. There. Episode's over.
It'll all be over this time tomorrow.
Or would he just be starting?
I can already hear the defense a week from now when the heist happens. Oh, here's the action. Andor is saved. Star Wars is saved. Wasn't that a thrilling heist episode? I don't care. Because this isn't Star Wars. Nothing happened in this episode that's really Star Wars. Nothing even happened to make this episode move forward. Let's review, shall we? In episode 4, Andor goes to Rebel Sleepaway Camp where they tell him he's going to have to learn all these things. Where are we now? Okay, episode 5. Go all the way through Sleepaway Camp to hiking day, back to camp overnight. Andor has learned his stuff while having CW feelings, walking and talking moments with everybody else in camp just about. But we still haven't gotten to the heist. Andor learning things could have been done in a quick little montage. Could have gotten all of that done in 10 minutes or less. Little interaction there because these are characters that don't matter. Little true believer guy, he's going to die next episode. I'm 99% sure he's going to die, and he's going to be the thing that makes Andor question his ambivalence to the cause. Putting it out there right now. Let's see. All right, so where are we? The heist still hasn't happened yet. Andor did his homework and sort of made friends with everybody. At least we're all in this together. All right. What else happened? Mon Mothma, her family is dysfunctional. The end. No political intrigue in the Imperial Senate. No Mon Mothma laying the groundwork for her contacts. No showing off her allies in the Senate. This and that. None of that. 2 blip scenes to show the dysfunction of her family. Now, is that going to pay off in some way? Maybe. Who knows? But this sure as hell ain't Star Wars, and I don't care about it. All right. On the Imperial side, we take Lieutenant Security Mole Man out of the equation because he's just there to fill time in the episode. He's there to fill time. Let's talk about the ISB. I already talked about those morons. That's a complete misunderstanding of what's going on. Okay, but what happened there? Oh, we're still setting up a garrison. Oh, I'm still right that the rebellion's happening. Okay. All right. What else? Oh, everybody's favorite. He's so engaging. Fired Lieutenant Security Man is at home eating space Cocoa Puffs and blue milk. Not once, but twice. And now is going to be obsessed with Andor. For all of the 4 minutes, I think, he was on screen. Maybe 5. He hasn't moved anything, except now we know he's obsessed with Andor, and he likes space Cocoa Puffs and blue milk. Anything else? Did I miss anything? Oh, we got Stellan Skarsgård, whose scene is purely there for useless Easter eggs of franchises that aren't even a part of Star Wars. Are we having fun yet? Do you like your adult Star Wars with all your political intrigue? Because no political intrigue in sight that you were all praising it for 5 episodes now, praising it for its political intrigue and its adult themes and its lived-in world. None of that is here. I hate to say it. Once again, you are free to like this show, but don't lie to yourself. Do not lie to yourself and call it Star Wars. Just because you see some things that look sort of like Star Wars and maybe they use a few names. Be honest with yourself and don't get angry at me just because I'm telling the truth. Don't get angry at me because I'm forcing you to remember that all roads in Disney Star Wars lead to Jake Skywalker and the sequel trilogy. That is called cognitive dissonance, where you know something's wrong, but you're doing everything possible to convince yourself that everything's okay. Ignoring the pit in your stomach. The weird feeling that goes around your heart that will sends chills around you when you know something makes you feel uncomfortable. There is no objectivity in this because Disney's made sure there's no objectivity. All right? This isn't Star Wars. Don't fool yourself. Don't pretend otherwise. You're free to like it, but don't get angry when I point these facts out to you. All right, we're done here. I'll see you in episode 6 where the heist is going to happen. I bet it's going to be thrilling. Thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. Share your comments with me. Even if you're angry at me, that's fine. I don't delete comments. Even if you're a troll, even if you get angry at me. Free speech channel. Catch you next week. May the Force be with you. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therennerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.